Hey guys, another video for our Myths About Japan playlist, probably also our Crime and Emergency Services in Japan playlist as it relates to crime. So, a couple of people have sent us this thing. The clickbait has been posting it. It's actually an old photo, but it's resurfaced again. The clickbait has been posting it with captions like, "Is Japan changing?" Things like that. Things that suggest that there wasn't crime in Japan and now there is. So, that's the myth, is that there wasn't crime in Japan and now there is. Well, yes, there's always been crime in Japan, of course. It's also true, of course, that the crime rates in Japan are much lower than they are in most other countries in the world, but there's always been crime here. The other fact is that most of the crime is committed by Japanese people, as the national crime statistics show. So the other thing that we get often in the comments is a whole bunch of related myths by the people commenting who are saying, "Oh, it must be the foreigners. They're letting in too many foreigners. That must be why there's crime happening." And quite often the comment section is as full of myths and BS as the actual silly post it was itself. So these things are sort of self-perpetuating. Once they post this nonsense, then other people pick up on it and believe it, and they post their own nonsense, and it sort of exaggerates. So the other statistic that's true, as well as the fact that most crime in Japan is committed by Japanese people, and that Japan has some of the lowest crime rates in the world, is that the last 3 years there have been increases in crime rates in Japan. But the reason is that in 2019, when the COVID thing happened, the crime rates in Japan obviously plummeted due to the fact that people couldn't move around as much. So they went to really lower than usual lows, and then over the last 3 years, as everybody started to move again, the crime rates have started to come back up again, which is often reported as the last 3 years crime's been increasing in Japan, which is true. But what they don't mention is it's still only at 98% of the level it was in 2019. So if you look at it on a graph, the amount of crime being committed at the moment is still lower than it was in 2019. So you can see what happens. People take these things and they post it with their BS clickbait titles, and then that gets picked up by people who love BS clickbait, and then they spread it around as well, and it just gets worse and worse. So it won't be the last time we see this. It won't be the last time. Oh, and it's because there's foreigners in Japan. It's quite offensive as a foreigner in Japan. That particular myth, that particular bit of BS is quite frustrating to hear repeatedly, because it's not true. And because it's unreasonable, it's unreasonable. So people will still do it. They love that. It's a thing that appeals to bigoted minds, apparently, that sort of thinking. So we'll continue to see stuff like this. But as we see it, we'll keep exposing it for what it is. It's BS. As we pointed out on the crime-related videos before, people can check for themselves on the National Police Agency statistics for Japan. It's all there, recorded by the National Police Agency. You can see for yourself how much crime's been committed and who by, and these myths are obviously just BS. So it's not a new thing. There's always been a small percentage of Japanese people committing crime, and it will continue to happen. So the myth was that there wasn't crime in Japan and now there is. Obviously it's BS. Obviously it's a myth. More videos coming soon.